The wheat fields glisten like gold on the windswept prairie of Montana. But a threat lurks beneath the beauty that stretches to the horizon.
Oh yeah, you can smell that. Wow.
Yes, you can definitely smell that.
And with infrared cameras, you can see it. Dangerous gases spewing from abandoned oil and gas wells.
So that's methane.
It's methane gas, yeah.
So you've got gas 30 times more powerful than carbon dioxide at trapping heat in the atmosphere, and it's just coming out of this well, and you would have no idea that it's even there.
Right, you can't see it with the naked eye.
This is the wreckage left behind from a century and a half of drilling the earth for fuel, helping power American prosperity for generations. Now, as the Biden administration works to wean the U.S. from fossil fuels, it says it can create 250,000 jobs, not drilling new wells, but plugging old ones.
There are more than 2 million of these wells dotting the landscape across the country, some of them more than a century old. Many of them were built by companies that have long since gone bankrupt, leaving no one left to clean them up.
Curtis Shuck worked for decades in the oil and gas industry until he saw this farm, littered with unplugged wells from the 1920s.
I couldn't get this out of my mind. It was one of those things that once you see it, you know, you sort of have this responsibility to do something about it.
Now he runs the Well Done Foundation, which plugs abandoned wells that threaten both the climate and drinking water. There could be 3.2 million of them. Across the country, the EPA says the unchecked gases are equivalent to burning 16 million barrels of crude oil every year.
It's about 300,000 tons of methane a year. That's the same amount of pollution as 1.5 million cars.
It's 55%, 81%.
Yeah, and then over limit, so.
Over limit, you maxed it out.
Yeah, so immediately.
Plugging a well costs $25,000 or more. President Biden's infrastructure plan calls for $16 billion to clean up wells and old mines.
We can put as many pipe fitters and miners and us to work capping those wells at the same price that they would charge to dig those wells.
As oil jobs dry up, plugging just 500,000 wells could create 120,000 jobs for people like Rob Braden, a senior at Montana Tech. His major, petroleum engineering.
Growing up in small town oil field country, a lot of the people support the industry, but they also really appreciate the land up here. I mean, that's what we have is the land.
Do you see a future for yourself in actually plugging abandoned wells like this?
If it could turn into a career, I would be very happy to be doing it. I love this kind of work.
It's not a silver bullet for climate change. There isn't one. But it could be a step toward matching skills with solutions, repairing damage from the past.
Is there an aspect of this that feels like penitence?
Well, it definitely feels good. This is just the cost of doing business going forward. I mean, I hate to tell you, but this is the new world in which we live in, and we've got to do better than we've ever done before.